Hi guys, and welcome back to Randlopo with me, Chaya Zangwamashele. So today we'll be sowing in some seeds. I'll be starting them in a planter box and then we will later transfer them into the ground. So we'll be doing some Swisschard spinach and we'll also be planting in Imboni. We'll also be planting in some marigolds, my favorites. And then we'll also be planting in some sunflowers as well as what else do I have? I think I've got some lettuce as well and cabbage. It's not really the best time for cabbage, but we're gonna plant it in anyway and see how it goes because of the heat. But we have been having quite a lot of rain, so I'm hoping that it doesn't get too many aphids. Also, I am planting in my dad's garden, which doesn't seem to have an issue with aphids. So I'll also be planting in some lavender. And what else do I have? Let me just check. Okay, so I did mention we'll be finally planting in some of the Imboni seeds, Imbuyi, Morojo. And then I'll be trying lavender. Lavender is my kryptonite. I always struggle a bit with it, but we're gonna give it a go. I'm gonna keep trying until I get it right. And then we've got some lettuce as well. And then I'll be planting in some sunflowers for the pollinators and also because they're pretty. And then I'll also be planting in about 3 cabbages and some marigold. You know, I love marigolds because it does assist with pests and it also attracts pollinators because you always got to keep in mind the bees and attracting them to your flowers so that your plants do pollinate. And then here, I've got some basil, another one of my favorites. I'm going to be adding this into his tomato bed, which is already got going up. And then we'll be planting in some Swisschard as well, which is both of our favorites. So let's start with that. So this is what his planting box currently has in it. It's got some chilies growing in here, which looks really nice. But the tomato is done. And this one's got some blight on it, so we'll be taking that one out. And this is either more chilies or peppers, but it's not doing that well, so I'm going to be taking that one out as well. So I'm going to start by pulling out the dead tomatoes. Get rid of that. One there as well. Okay. Get rid of this one. And that one. Oh, this is a little hard tomato in here. Get rid of that tomato root system that was there. So I want to completely remove the old tomato leaves because they did have blight on them and I don't want to restart the new seeds with it on. We do have some rain. Currently it is got a very light drizzle going on, but it's not bothering me in any way. So just And then you can see, so it's got some good soil in here. Okay. Oh, let's put this baby back in. There we go. So I will start with the Swisschard, which looks like this. That's what the seeds look like. I don't bury them in too deep. So remember, I'm going to be transplanting these, so I'm not giving them too much spacing, because as soon as they are mature enough, I will transplant. The soil does have a lot of ants, so I wonder if that will in any way hinder the growth of the seeds, but we'll see. So planted about 6-8 of those. He doesn't have a lot of garden space, so I am being mindful of that in terms of when I do finally transfer the final product. I need to ensure that I actually have space for it. I think I'm going to plant the lettuce inside the other garden space, and then sunflowers. So that's the sunflowers. That's what the seeds look like. I'm going to put these in the corners of the garden bed. Might maybe leave 1 or 2 in here, we'll see. Okay, that's 3. Put another one there. One there. These are called cut flower mix, sunflower cut flower mix. In germination on the packet is 7 to 14 days, but we'll update as they are growing. I think I'll also plant the cabbage in the little section where he's got, where we're going to be transferring the rest to eventually. Just cover up my sunflower seeds. Okay. And then the Morocco, I'm also going to direct plant where I want it. I'm going to do the same with the lavender and so I think, so we've got the Swisschard in there and sunflowers. I think let me also put the spinach in there. I've got basil as well. I just can't find the packet. Let me go look for my basil packet. So basil pairs really well. Just wait for that to go past. That's what the basil seeds look like. They're really tiny. And basil pairs really well with tomatoes. So it's always advised that you plant them together. So I'm going to sprinkle the seeds in here. Just like that. Because of how tiny the seeds are, I didn't plant them in too deep. And I'm also not covering them too deep as well. So that when they germinate, it's not a struggle for them to sprout up. I've dropped a few seeds. That's okay. See, there we go. So that's the basil with the tomatoes. I will also add in some of the marigolds in here. Let me just see how much seed I've got. Okay, still got enough. So I'm going to add in some of, there's a bit of wind. I'm going to add some marigolds in here as well. The tomatoes. Okay. So this is currently what his main garden patch looks like. I did say it's not too big. So he's got some cabbages. I suspect he's had them in there for years now.
And me, I'm 56 years old. Damn!
Simply because of how they look and how they've matured. But he doesn't want to get rid of them yet. So I think once the other cabbages do sprout and I'm able to transfer them, then I'll be able to convince him to let go of these ones, as well as the spinach. So he's had his spinach for a while as well. If you look at the stalks, you can actually see that the stalks are very matured. So it tells you he's had the spinach probably over a year with the same spinach. So at this point, he really does need to let go of it. I did previously check his soil, and he's got some really nice soil. It's got some nice and healthy earthworms in it. So I'll be using all the gaps in between just to start my seedlings. And then once they have matured, we'll be able to transfer them. It's also got some lettuce growing in here. That's the normal Great Lake lettuce, which I previously planted as well. And then he's got some spring onions. So I think it's recording. Alright, so I'm going to start off. So yeah, if you look there, you can see the earthworms. So you know it's good soil. And that's why I'm using a digging tool, because I previously realized that he's got a lot of earthworms in here. And I don't want to touch them with my hands. Also don't want to really hurt them, cutting them in half. Though they do survive, they'll just carry on as two individuals after that. I don't know if it hurts them. Sure. I'm going to start with the lavender. Please grow. Lavender also has tiny seeds. I'm not going to bring it to the screen because it is a bit windy right now and I'm scared it will get blown away by the wind. Ooh, that's one. Okay, see, I'm just lightly covering it. Cover that earthworm there. it's not hot today, so he or she would survive long enough to make it back into the soil, but I mean, I dug her out, so it makes sense that I return her. That's what the cabbage seeds look like. And this is, I've cut off the name, but that's what it looks like. So, not planting a lot of these either. Because of the space, I think I can only be able to have about 3 or 4 of them. And then we're going to do the lettuce, salad mix lettuce. So that's going to look nice and pretty with all the different colors, the purples, greens, dark greens, reddish greens. It's my favorite lettuce mix. That's what those seeds look like. I'm trying my best not to be heavy-handed. And also very small seeds. Okay. So lettuce done. And then we're going to plant in Imbuya. This is a powerhouse of a spinach. This is really phenomenal. I would pick this over Swisschard in terms of its health benefits. Okay. And you do cook it almost the same way as your normal Swisschard spinach. So. And then, last but not least, some more marigolds. Flowers and pest control. And then, almost lost it to the wind. That's what they look like. These are normally easy to germinate, so you also don't want to cover them too much because they are thin, they are long but thin. So yeah, that's what we are doing for today. So that's our planting done for today. I will then do little snaps each and every single day so we can see which seeds germinate first, and just to be able to keep up with the general progress of it. It is getting a tad windy out here, about to rain. It is the 3rd of March, which is the full blood moon. That's also something exciting that's currently happening. It's a good time if you are struggling with anything for you to use this moment to release and let go of it, to also be mindful of your energy levels. Try to keep them nice and steady for yourself. Don't get yourself too worked up. Don't do anything that you might regret. But please do remember to subscribe. Also comment down below. Let me know if there's anything at all that you feel you need assistance with, or any tips that you might have for me, or any seed that you'd like us to try out and see how it grows. And I told you to subscribe, right? Comment, like, and take care of yourself. Bye.